So it's evident from the 2K21 demo that shooting is the thing that has got most people annoyed, because nearly everybody would have previously in other years used the square button to shoot the ball. However, using the square button does not seem to be it. Can you agree with it? Yes. Trust me, you can agree with it, as I'm showing right here. But it's hard. The amount of like straight arms or straight arm type things you shoot is crazy. Times where you're right in the middle of that green window and it just, rather than saying excellent, it says slightly early or slightly late. Like again, I've just gotten lucky right here that I've been greening a lot of these. And mainly it's because I have been working a ton on shooting. I'm trying to work on bit by bit. I haven't quite got dribbling down yet, but again, I'm going to be working on shooting a little bit first. So everyone kind of realizes, okay, shooting with the square button is really difficult. And I do have a feeling that 2K are going to patch it very, very early. That shooting with the square button is, I'm not going to say the favorable way to shoot, but not as much worse using the stick as right now. Like, it is extremely difficult to hit a white with the square button. It is extremely difficult. The amount of whites, like that one there, right down the middle slightly early. I hit an excellent there. They have shortened the green window, so that's almost minuscule with that button. However, this is a big problem with a lot of people with the stick. Is actually, I pulled it down perfectly that time. But a lot of people they're struggling to pull it down. And they're also really struggling to readjust. Because a lot of the time people are going wide right. They're like adjusting too much one way. They're finding it very, very difficult to adjust. And even myself, when I was just shooting around with the stick, I couldn't do it. I genuinely, the way most people are going to do it, pulling down on their right thumb, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't time it right. I would hit the occasional green, but that would be it. Like, that would be it. I found it really, really difficult to adjust. If I didn't pull it down perfectly the first time, I felt that it was an almost impossibility to hit the shot. So I actually found quite a new way. So you'll see it here. Like, straight away, like, I know it was slightly left, but that may as well have been a green. That's almost right in the center. Again, almost right in the center. Can't believe none of these have been greens. But they're as close to being greens, but not greens. As well as that, things like step back greens are so easy this year. However, if you're using the button, it is so difficult. Like, if you're trying to shoot a leaner, if you're trying to shoot a step back, I'm telling you. I know I shot a fake green right there where he puts his hands down and celebrates. That's an automatic make. It is extremely difficult to do. However, if you are using the stick, it is so easy to shoot them. It is so easy. But I'm going to explain the way that I found to get, I'm not going to say perfect shooting, because I still need a little bit to work on. This is me. This is 25 minutes of me practicing. Like, 25 minutes of me practicing has managed to go from what I was using my thumb, which was bad. Like, I'm telling you, it was bad. Like, being almost unable to get anywhere near the mark, to worst case scenario being a millimeter, 1-2 degrees off. And at that, thankfully, if you're using the stick, you have a very, very good chance of hitting a white. So basically, I found what I believe is the easiest way. And the funny thing is that the more I'm used to this may be uncomfortable at first. Trust me, you may be really uncomfortable shooting like this, but I'm telling you, it is something that's going to be game changing. And the biggest thing, I'm going to show a hand cam video. It's shooting with your index finger and using your thumb to direct, rather than shooting or pulling down with your thumb. Rather than pulling down with your thumb and keeping your thumb on the main part of the controller, pulling down with your index finger and just pushing side to side with your thumb. It makes it so much easier. One, the index finger push down is more accurate, and two, it's way easier to adjust as well. So anyway, now we're going to go on to hand cam. Okay, so the vast majority of people, sorry about the hand cam, will kind of hold their controller like this, move their analog stick using here, and we'll try shoot the ball like so. So when they're trying to shoot it, they'll be trying to shoot the ball like so, just bringing down the analog stick. And one big problem with that is it's mainly just the thumb placement. So when you have your thumb and the analog stick's down and you're trying to move it around, it's a much kind of harder thing to move around the cursor, or not the cursor, the set point, because a lot of time you end up dragging it way too far one way, way too far the other way. A lot of people are complaining about sensitivity. So one thing I've noticed is that when you're coming off dribbles, coming off anything, it is kind of difficult to bring it back down straight. Like, that is slightly off. But what I found is a lot better, hopefully I can get this to balance, is if you hold your controller like this, bringing down this finger to shoot the ball. So that makes it a lot more center. As you guys can see, I centered that shot there. But one of the biggest things is this is a lot more comfortable when you have two hands on the controller, don't worry, is when you bring it down, it's a lot easier to move it using this finger to pull back and then this finger to push this way. Rather than having to use your thumb to do everything to go both ways in a position where it's on top of the controller, where it has a lot more, control and is a lot more likely to move very, very far. If you're getting it moderately accurate with this pull down, like you only need tiny little things, where if you're pulling the controller, if you're pulling it down like that, pulling the controller a tiny bit's not going to be difficult at all. As well as that, pushing it this way is not going to be difficult at all because you're pushing it this sideways rather than having to control it all from in here. So in my opinion, this grip honestly is what you're gonna have. Well, not this necessarily grip, but this way of shooting the ball. So rather than pulling down your thumb, because a lot of the time you're going to be way out of control, like you can keep the grip the same way, that's fine. But as you're shooting, it's a lot easier to do with two hands, and you get used to it after a while. As you're shooting, flick down. Like, it is the most easy thing to do. A lot of the time, your hand will be like that, and it's just, instead of pressing, say, the square button or flicking down, it takes not even a split second. It's the same timing the longer you do it. So I'm not really looking at this stage, but it is a lot more accurate in my opinion, and I think it will help you shoot a lot better using this type, well, using your index finger to shoot rather than your thumb. Especially because shooting with the square button, it just isn't it. It is just not it this year. It's almost impossible to score with. Yeah, this game, I think there are some major-ish flaws in terms of shooting, because if you have your, like, you can take any sort of ridiculous shot. If you've got your stick down, you can take any sort of ridiculous shot and it's probably going to go in. I'm pretty sure, do they still have the glitch where you can shoot full court with your stick? I don't think so, I don't think so. Surely not. Slightly right. Let me see if I can green one of these. Slightly left. Okay. Mate, I don't think it's been patched, but I know people were hitting full court with their stick. Yeah, you can green full court. So I hope, fingers crossed they've taken that out of the game. But at the end of the day, I think that there's definitely going to be changes made to stick shooting. Right now, the amount of just ridiculous stuff you can hit with stick shooting, like it does not matter. Fade away, off the catch, all the shots make the exact same thing as long as you are using the stick, and it's that much easier to green as well as hitting a white. Whereas using the button, you gotta time perfectly. You gotta time, heck, it's probably like league build timing to green a shot with the button. So yeah, that is pretty much it. That is the video. That is what I think is going to be the easiest way to shoot it in the center, or as close to the center as possible. Like, you're not going to be able to green every shot. Like, that's unrealistic. This isn't an aimbot tutorial, but this is a tutorial for how to get a lot easier into the center using the stick. Because right now, if button shooting isn't improved, or if no meter doesn't drastically, like if the meter to no meter is only the gap from last year, where it's only like a 2 or 3% difference in green window, and still has the straight arm, you better believe everyone's shooting with the stick, because it is going to be the way forward. And the more I'm using the stick, the more I'm getting used to it. And again, like, I've only been 20-30 minutes at this, and it was a theory I had at the start of the year that using the analog, or using your index finger, was going to be the way to go. I completely underestimated my controller grip. My initial controller grip would have had the left index finger moving it down, which is more accurate, but you can't do anything else. However, this one, I feel like it's comfortable more than anything. Like, being able to play the game, there's more to the game than shooting. So being comfortable in shooting, I think, is really, really important. And this is both comfortable and very, very easy to get it as straight as you could ask for. Like, again, you can't ask, we're going to get better at this. Like, we're going to get better. We're going to get better at greening every single shot. And also, players are going to be higher rated, especially in my team. Like, Kawhi probably has a 3-pointer in the low 80s. We're going to be shooting with 90+ rated 3-point shooters. So it's going to be even easier to hit these shots. So yeah, I am interested. As well as that, we don't currently have the timing down yet, the R2 button press. Once we get that down, it's going to be even easier to hit these shots. So yeah, that is basically it. That is the shooting tutorial, and the easiest way to go about this is to just change the finger. If you are struggling, change the finger you are shooting with. And like, yeah, it might seem kind of awkward at first, but again, 5-10 minutes of getting used to it, getting used to pulling that right index finger down, it makes it a hell of a lot easier to shoot straight. And also, if you don't shoot straight, whatever bit you pulling down straight, it makes it 10 times easier to adjust, especially if you are almost straight. Using your thumb is going to give you way too much of an adjustment. This new grip, I think, definitely is going to help make adjustments a hell of a lot easier. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. Now let's green 1-3. We're done. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's robbing. Tyson with the fade, not the hair, my hands rocking. When I link with ball point, you know